We don't do that here.
But the cream rise to the top.
Get some fresh blood in here.
Well, time to do. All right. Shake, awake, shake and bake, enunciate.
Shake, wait.
All right. The ultimate fucking casual. We have arrived. Coming off of UFC 301. Oh man, Nathan, what a night. Was it how was that was the hole in the leg the only bloody thing?
That was definitely the most brutal. I don't think there was that much blood in the other fights I watched, but that one, I mean, that was more than enough blood for one night.
Yeah, I think it was the novelty of where it was coming from that made it seem worse. But I don't think we have any news up top. Unless we want to get it now. Ngannou's son, 15 months old, passed away. That's horrible. Horrible.
Yeah,
Oh, God.
really terrible.
I can't imagine. Cannot imagine. Condolences to the Ngannou family. Man, what is this? Parents' worst nightmare?
Yeah, and I mean, there's never a good time in your life to go through something like that. But just, with Ngannou being, where he's at, I really just do hope that he's given space by the powers that be to deal with that and not worry about fighting. I know there's a lot of pressure on him to return soon to mixed martial arts or perhaps even back to boxing, but he really just needs a lot of time with his family. I can't imagine losing a kid that young. I mean, it's so gutting.
Yeah. Yeah, I hadn't even considered that angle. Because he was slated for PFL return or debut, I guess, pretty soon. And man, words are failing me right now. I don't really know what to say. Goodness. Well, what a cheerful note to start with. One, I guess, to try to pivot out of that, speaking of PFL, they're doing a Middle East league, and it's starting on May 10th. It's the debut. I cannot figure out what it is, but it's MENA. That's what they're calling it. It's Middle East and something else. I don't know. Is it Asia? Northwest Asia? I don't know. Still, that's happening. It's in Saudi Arabia, so fun.
So is it it looks like it's like a regional only deal.
They have Europe, or not, they have Europe, which I think includes UK, and then US, which includes Canada, and now they have this.
That's a really great way to grow the sport in that part of the world, because it's always better when you see someone that you relate to that's fighting, carrying your flag and stuff like that.
Yeah,
that's a big deal.
I think more so for underrepresented countries, because US, there you can get just for me, there could be Mexican fighters, Mexican American fighters, whatever, and for people of other different heritage, they can see someone who maybe does accurately represent them to whatever degree.
Yeah, I mean, the closest thing you get with, at least in America, is he grew up in Dallas or he grew up in Phoenix, and
right.
You can relate to them on that level. You don't really have the same kind of cultural heritage that other guys might in somewhere like, Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, it's... Oh, no, but what about, regional geopolitical situations? If there's I know ONE FC has a Persian fighter, and so if this guy's from Iran fighting someone from Saudi Arabia, there's a lot more behind that than just hey, we're fighting for a title. Now you guys are settling political scores here.
I mean, it could be worse. They could put him up against a Jewish boxer or something like that.
that might have to do that one without any fans in the crowd, just to be
Yeah.
safe.
Well, I mean it's funnily enough, those rivalries I think they're part of what make fighting sports what they are, because it's like what Mexico and Puerto Rico, like
Yeah.
that is such a huge international rivalry. And there's obviously, I guess, no war crimes tied up in that. Well, none recent ones. Let's change that. None recent ones, but those are big deals.
Mohammed bin Salman and the Ayatollah of Iran, like they're the only ones allowed into the building. Like, send your champion who's gonna represent you when we settle this. Loser signs the treaty or whatever.
Those were the terms of engagement for David and Goliath, unironically. Send your best warrior out, and whoever wins will submit to the winner, basically.
Oh no, are these really the biblical end times if we're getting back to David and Goliath status?
Maybe.
All right, let's get into some recaps. On the 26th of April, there was a Friday fights in the morning. I checked who was on it, and yeah, this was would you like a nice meal for your family this evening? And there's your paycheck. On the evening of the 26th, there was a a fight night card. So top 3 from the bottom up. Dmitry Menshikov knocks out Sinsamut Clean Me in the 3rd. Akbar Abdullayev knocks out Halil Amir in the 2nd. That Dimitri's win was a Muay Thai fight. Abdullayev is MMA, and Smila Sundel gets the stoppage over Natalia Diachkova. That was the Muay Thai title. Okay, wait, did I misread that? I did. Man, I jumped ahead. That was on May 3rd, not the 26th. Whatevs. I'm not sorry. Here we go. The 27th. UFC Fight Night. Oh, man. Is there anything worth stopping for, or are we just going to breeze through this? Is there some stoppages?
I think we'll probably breeze through this card. There were some... Thankfully, this card had stoppages because there's not many good names on it.
Yeah, I was going to say, the saving grace, that's pretty much it, is that there were some knockouts you could go check out. But from the bottom up, Uros Medic stops Tim Means in the 1st. David Onama, UD over Jonathan Pierce. Jonata Dinitz stops Austin Lane in the 2nd. Karine Silva, UD over Ariane Lipsky. Bogdan Guskov stops Ryan Spann in the 2nd. And the main event, Alex Perez. I think this was a bit of an upset. The Cape pulled out. This is the one that Cape pulled out of, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Alex Perez gets a stoppage over Mateus Nicolau in the 2nd.
Yeah, I mean, knocks him dead. I mean, that was a extraordinarily clean knockout.
I have to ask then, how much of this was that Alex Perez is coming in on really short notice and Nicolau wasn't ready for what?
Well, I don't know. My thoughts on this in general have shifted. Like, I feel like I know from Perez's perspective, you have literally nothing to lose, but I don't even know if he was in a fight, how much of a fight camp he got. So, I mean, and I know MMA, there's way more differences fighter to fighter than boxing. So like a last minute change could be a much bigger style shakeup than you'd think. But I mean, this was still a pretty exposing moment for Nikolai. Like you can't be getting knocked out like that against someone who's coming in off the couch.
Not ranked or anything either.
But yeah, not ranked. You're a top 5 flyweight allegedly. I mean, come on now.
Yeah. All right, moving along. There was the fight night card on the 3rd that I mistakenly said was on the 26th, but on the 4th in Rio. So I didn't catch all of these, and one of these I don't have listed. From the bottom up, Paul Craig gets stopped in 2. by Caio Borralho. Man, was it me or was Craig kind of shaken up like from the onset and just didn't seem like he wanted to really be there all that much?
That was exactly what I was about to say. He didn't look like he wanted to fight. Which, I mean, I wouldn't have believed that from his intro where he had the full, like, half his face painted.
Yeah.
In the Scottish blue. He just looked like he was just sleepwalking through that fight. I don't know if he landed a single meaningful punch, like genuinely.
Yeah, I don't think he did. And I don't know where it started. I can't recall exactly, but it just seemed that Borralho landed something, and then Craig kind of went down, and then Borralho just was like, "No, I'm not doing that. Get up. I'm gonna beat you up more." And from there, it was just all back foot.
Yeah, and I don't know a whole lot about Paul Craig's career, but just saying that he's 36, I mean,
Yeesh.
He looked his age.
Yes,
for sure.
Borralho though I thought that was pretty impressive. He's not the one who did it. For a second, I was gonna say he did that backflip thing, but that wasn't him. That was actually
I think that's the next guy.
Yeah, and that one was one that you had outlined or picked out to highlight. But Kai, this is middleweight. I need to see the rankings here. So Duplessis is the champ here. Borralho moves up to 14, up from the 15 that he was.
That can't be right. I wonder if these rankings aren't updated.
Yeah, they're not, because Paul Craig's still above. So
yeah,
they came in at Borralho at 14, Paul Craig at 13. So I guess Borralho had been moved up before then.
Yeah, he's going to probably stick around the top 10-ish. He probably should be fighting someone in that range. I know Chimaev is 11th, but he should definitely not fight Chimaev. Anyone else around that range is probably an acceptable next fight for him.
Yeah, I'm glad you pointed him out, because I wasn't sure if that's an accurate ranking for him, because he's better than that, isn't he?
Well, he's only ranked 11th because he moved up into the division, and he's like I don't know if he's yet to really fight anyone ranked there. So you can't just like stick him in the top 5 if he's done nothing. So his only fight, I think, has been Kamaru Usman at that weight, and he's not fought since.
And Usman was moving up as well, right?
Yes.
Okay, makes sense. Still, I'm excited to see what Borralho can do as he starts stepping up the competition. Because he looked impressive, but given that Craig didn't put up a whole lot of resistance, it's still hard to gauge where he's at.
Yeah, you can definitely say. I mean, he did what you would expect a contender to do against someone. I don't know if looking for a way out is the right way to put it, but a sandbag rather. That's what you want to see. If you're legit, you should put someone away pretty quickly like that.
Yeah. Well, speaking of putting someone away quickly, Michel Pereira, 54 seconds, stops, submits Ihor Potieria, and wow, what a backflip.
He does that every fight. I feel like he pulls that out at least once per fight.
Did you think that did that look illegal to you?
It didn't. I saw people online saying that it was. I'm not sure what the what they're saying is illegal about it. Is it that like a kick landed to the head of an opponent that was down?
Yeah, the knee or shin landed on his head, but from all the angles it didn't.
Oh, really? Did it like land more on his shoulder then, or his collarbone?
The knee landed on his chest. The leg, I think, might have grazed his head, but it landed more on his shoulder.
Okay, which I think is dumb. I think you should be able to kick a grounded opponent in the head. Honestly, I think you should be able to soccer kick someone, if we're being honest. But I'm surprised that he does that. knowing that specifically would be illegal if it ever landed. I always figured that he was going for a headshot there.
Yeah, it does look like that's what he was aiming for. 31-11 was his record coming into it. Maybe I'm curious how many of those 11 are DQs now.
None that I'm aware of.
Woof.
But either way, I mean, Pereira, doubt he'll ever be champion, but like, man, probably top 10 most exciting. I mean, he just pulls out wild shit every time he fights. He's so explosive.
And he calls himself the showman. I didn't really understand why until now. I thought it was just like doing wild entrances that was the thing. That was cool though. It was fun.
To answer your question, he was DQ'd in his third fight in the UFC against Diego Sanchez. So he's been DQ'd at least once. Who knows if he's has more DQs prior to the UFC.
Diego Sanchez, that's a name I haven't heard in a while. Even from his time in Bare Knuckle. All right. Anthony Smith gets the submission in 1 over Vitor Petrino. Esteemed
what a
announcer.
feel-good fight. Esteemed announcer Anthony Smith?
Yes.
Yeah, man, like, this is like such a feel-good fight just because Smith, like, he shouldn't really be taking fights anymore. He's at the end of his road. And Petrino is like, he's obviously the guy they want to build his name off of Smith. And so seeing those old guys, we saw this with, I'm blanking on his name.
Jim Miller?
Jim Miller. There we go. Miller time. You know, I don't know why I forgot that. But yeah, I mean, you know, a guy who shouldn't be fighting that's still competitive and he's able to knock down these would-be prospects. There's something that is a little satisfying to me about that. And yeah, I mean, I really want to know what the odds were on a Smith submission win in 1, because I'm sure someone could have gotten very rich off of that.
You think it's like the gatekeeper strikes back? That's the satisfaction of it?
Yeah, just like there is something that doesn't sit right with me where you have someone that's been around a long time and they've paid their dues, and now their existence is intentionally, we're going to market someone else off of you, right? And I don't know if I would call it disrespect, but it's a little gross. And so there is something fun to seeing, oh, hey, he still got it, you know?
Yeah.
Even if it's not going to go anywhere. So,
paying your dues, and then like we're going to continue milking you as dry as we can before tossing you out.
Yeah, it's a bit of like viewing the fighter as a product.
Yeah.
You know, rather, I think in boxing you might see, you know, someone make one more run at being a champion, right? Or taking a fight the fans want to see. That's the more, you'll see more of that conclusion than not in boxing. Versus UFC, where it is more corporate of, okay, we know you're not going to really be a contender anymore, so we're going to make the most of it financially for us.
All right. Speaking of, the old guy still got it. Jose Aldo. I'm trying to think of the proper phrase for this, but he beat the shit out of Jonathan Martinez. At least I thought so. The judges seemed to agree. It was a sweep.
Yeah, that surprised me a lot. I didn't know Aldo was still like that.
Yeah, same.
And it probably is a bit of an exposition piece on Jonathan Martinez for him to get beat that badly by an old man. But
Aldo, I liked his high guard. He was coming in with that, like he's been in a boxing gym more than anything else.
Yeah, Aldo, I mean, I think he started as a jiu-jitsu expert, but over time he really developed a pretty well-rounded skill set. And so he's been a great fighter to watch over the years.
I'm trying to see where Martinez is from. Not important. Bantamweight. O'Malley's fucking Dominion. Ratings haven't been upgraded or updated, excuse me. So they had Martinez at 12.
Yeah, I would expect Aldo to probably sneak in at the top of those rankings, and then I would, yeah. Do you drop someone off their rankings? I guess they probably would. That didn't lose. I think they probably make room for Aldo at 15. I don't know if Martinez. I mean, he might drop from 12 to unranked. That could be the one that goes.
Yeah, if anybody, I thought it would be him. It's just quite a drop to go from 12 to nothing. But what are you going to do? Maybe next time try not losing.
Next time, be better. How about that?
Be better. All right, main event. Alexander Pantoja, UD over Steve Erceg. A very spirited Steve Erceg. I thought he was a lot more game than at least I was expecting anyway, not knowing a whole lot about him.
And perhaps he should be the champion right now, according to many.
Was it that close?
I've seen people go so far as to say they had it 4-1 for Erceg.
Woof.
And I don't know how I feel about that. He definitely won, the damage battle, right? And we know what the UFC rankings say, that striking or damage trumps all. But Pantoja, I mean, his specialty is grappling. He grappled his way to a victory here. But I guess people were making the case that, like, hey, just because you pull the guy down and you sort of lay on him for the last minute, that doesn't mean you should win the round. But and typically speaking, in recent memory, the case has been that grappling isn't enough to outweigh the striking if you're getting beat that badly on the feet. But this was a case where it swung the other way. They rated the grappling of Pantoja really highly.
Do you think that was a bit of home cooking?
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, they don't make these regional cards in Brazil or in France just to have the hometown guy lose.
Right.
And it probably makes a difference when the crowd is going nuts every time their home fighter does anything, whether or not they even land a strike or whether or not their grappling is effective. So the environment, if you're sitting right on cage side, I mean, surely that has to play into it a little bit.
Yeah, that's something I've noticed across all of fight sports, that the sound of the crowd or the volume of the crowd does seem to make a bit of difference in the judges' scoring. Because, like Pantoja, like you were saying, like, or whatever the internet was saying, like, was he getting takedowns? Yeah. Was he getting dominant position with those takedowns? Yeah. But what did it really amount to anything? No, it really didn't. I don't think so anyway. That's not how I saw it. So now that it's been framed that way, yeah, that's probably, it seems like that's what the scoring favored, is just like, yes, I threw you down and, smothered you for a while.
Yeah. If there is any hope for Erceg, it's that he's not been in the UFC for very long at all. And he, I'm sure a lot of people no one's gonna look at him. Their opinion of him raised quite a bit after this fight. And with the way flyweight is set up right now, he could definitely find himself in another shot to win or to challenge for a title very soon.
Did I see correctly that he's Australian? Yeah, he is. He is.
Yeah, I guess he is.
Wasn't sure if he was from New Zealand or what. Well, I'll have to let Ruby know. Goddamn Aussies lost again. It's like you guys can't help yourselves.
Yeah, it's in their bloodline. It's just L's forever.
Until Cambosos breaks that soon enough.
Yeah. Dude, if he beats Loma, I'm going to be in trouble. I'm really going to be sad. I'm going to have to go on like an Aaron Rodgers style darkness retreat to get over that.
There are some good like peyote sweat lodges if you want to swing out this way.
Go stare into the campfire until I come to grips with the fact that Loma's just mid.
Oh goodness, I know it's next to impossible that it happens, but I can hold out hope. It's strictly for the memes. That would be really it. Is like, the shade and fright of the whole thing. Last note for May 4th.
So on the undercard, Jack Shore was fighting.
Joe
Who was he
Anderson
fighting? I
Brito.
can't pronounce. There you go. That's how you say it. He was fighting that guy, and there was a kick that Shore tried to check, and as soon as he checked it, his leg started bleeding. And there's no other way to describe it, but like he had a literal hole in his leg. It wasn't like a slice or something like that. It was a hole. It immediately started to gush blood. I thought maybe that the shin had broken and the bone had poked through, and that's what did it. And so I was okay with the stoppage, but they apparently got x-rays on it, and there was no fracture. Like, it was shin on shin contact, and it just somehow opened up a crevice in his leg. I'm typically not very squeamish about like blood or anything like that, but the ref literally took his finger and stuck it inside his leg.
Oh my god!
Like, he could,
What?
he was like he went like up to the first little like knuckle. Like it wasn't like just a little, just the tip kind of action. It was like he got in there. That was gross. That was really, really gross. So I can send you the video if you desire to see that.
I kind of do. Morbid curiosity.
ESPN posted it to their actual X feed, which was kind of cool. And I guess there is another discussion there of like, we should letting fighters fight, but like, that's a hard judgment call. That being said, I don't blame the ref necessarily, but I don't know how a doctor incorrectly diagnoses a leg fracture.
Oh, that started bleeding immediately. I just saw the kick that he checked, and you could see blood start coming out like right away.
Oh yeah, it was like a fountain opened up.
Yep, that is bad. Legit looks like a bullet wound. All right, let's see. When do we get to the doctor? Yeah, that's bad. Yeah, like he's walking fine, even with adrenaline. Like walking on a break, like we were talking about before. Like I had pretty rough shin splints on both. Just a little warning: it's about to get kind of loud, so turn it down for just a little bit. Oh! Don't put your finger in it. Oh!
Yeah, there you go.
No! Don't do that. Oh God. Oh man, he checked it as one would. Why do you keep putting your fucking finger into it? Man, that's
I mean, I'm sure the doctor was shocked too. He's probably never seen anything like that either.
A doctor in fucking Rio. I'm sure he's seen some shit.
Oh, you know what? Fair enough. I didn't even think about that. That's probably just a normal Tuesday for him then.
Yeah. I've seen
That's
enough.
probably why he stuck his finger in there. He's looking for the bullet shrapnel.
I've seen enough live leak videos to know what's going on down there. Oh, geez. Yeah, I've seen my fair share of gore as well. It's never fun. It's not fun anymore. Don't put your finger into it. God damn. I was trying to, before that happened, holy shit, he was walking fine, and like when we were talking about before, I had pretty rough shin splints where it could I ran a lot. I was a sprinter in high school for track and field, and just after running, like runner's high and adrenaline and everything, my legs still hurt a lot. So it was, I don't know. I don't think it was just like adrenaline keeping him going on a broken leg, if that's what anybody was thinking. It's not easy to walk on brakes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God, not the finger. Gross. Anything else? Joaquim Silva he drops the ball. Loses to Drakkar Close.
Joaquim Silva. Wait. Did I miss something?
Joaquim Silva was on this. He lost. Everybody was sad.
Oh, okay. I missed this fight, I guess.
Yeah,
that's kind of surprising.
I only saw the headline for that one. I don't see anything else that stood out on the undercard. I guess Malarkey. I usually cut in the Band of Brothers line.
Malarkey's slang for bullshit, isn't it?
That's it for 301. Unless you have anything else?
Nope, that's all.
All right, on the 11th, UFC Fight Night on location. This one's in St. Louis, Missouri. From the bottom up, on the prelims, there is an RJ special, Veronica Hardy versus JJ Aldrich, flyweights. Waldo Cortez Acosta versus Robles de Spain. This is the Cuban dude, the Diet Ngannou.
Mm-hmm.
Alex Caceres rated 15th for Sean Woodson at featherweight. Diego Ferreira versus Matus Rebecki, lightweights. Alonzo Menefield rated 11th versus Carlos Ulberg, light heavy, excuse me. Joaquin Buckley rated 11th. Oh shit! Versus Nursultan Ruzibayev, welterweights, and Derek Lewis rated 12th versus Rodrigo Nascimento, 15th at heavyweight.
Finally, a solid, not star-packed by any means, but like an exciting UFC Fight Night card.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fights that'll probably be very one-sided, specifically the Despain fight and the Buckley fight, but like we're fight fans. Like, come on, we just want to see knockouts. You know, this card would probably deliver on that.
You think this is like a low-key talent, a bit of a sleeper kind of event?
There's potential. I think people want to see Joaquin Buckley continue to grow as a fighter. People definitely want to see more of Robles de Spain. Alex Caceres, seeing if he can. Did he win his last fight? I can't remember if he lost or not.
I think he did.
Yeah, he got beat by Giga, but I mean, still very talented dude. There's definitely fights to watch here, for sure. And then obviously Derek Lewis. I mean, he's been on hard times recently. I don't know if you would call Nascimento like a prospect they're trying to build off of. I think they're just trying to give Derek Lewis a fight he could win. So, I mean, always got to pull for Derek.
Yeah, hopefully his balls have cooled off, and he'll be able to manage.
No, he runs with his balls hot. If they're not hot, he's not doing well.
Glow plugs in a diesel engine. All right, that's it for this episode of The Ultimate Fucking Casual. Thank you, as always, for listening, and we will be back early next week. We're going to have another one. It's kind of light on the MMA side of things, but there is quite a bit of boxing coming up, so there's... make peace with it. That's what we're going to be talking about. What can we do here in the meantime? 833 Lux Pods. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns about whatever the fuck, call or text. It's anonymous either way. If you do want your audio cut into the show, the ideal move is to call and leave a voicemail. Go straight to voicemail. Nobody fucking answers. I don't even answer my own phone, so I'm not gonna answer that shit. But you can also send voice notes over WhatsApp if you'd like. LVX MediaNet, that's the social media handle everywhere. If you cannot find it, we're not on it. And if you want to check out some of the other shows that we get up to, like boxing might be more your speed, but there is other stuff that we do. It's luxmediashows.com. So if you want to check out more, go check it out over there. All right, see you next time.